to my channel. Hope you are well today because we have another crafting session to get stuck into. In this week's video we are getting into the Valentine's theme because it is fast approaching at the end of the week. So in this video we are looking at how to make your own Valentine's Day card to spread a bit of love to your loved ones if you want to. So in this video there is 3 different types of designs to give you a bit of inspiration and have a go at making. So if it sounds like something you are interested in making, then let's get crafting. To make the first Valentine's card, you are going to need some brown recycled craft card base and 2 shades of red cardstock, one of them being more metallic in shade. You will also need a heart-shaped hole punch, some red ink and your Valentine's sentiment stamps, as well as a black pen. To make some small bows, you will also need black ribbon and a fork. Using the heart-shaped hole punch, you want to punch out a few heart shapes for your card. Now, do this on both of the red cardstocks that you have. I did 4 of each, however I only needed 3 hearts for the size of my card. This will depend if you are using a bigger or smaller card base. Then, using your Happy Valentine's Day sentiment stamps, stamp into the lower left corner of your card base and then place on your love hearts in whichever pattern you like. I have gone for a diagonal one here because we are going to draw some lines that look like strings so that the hearts are dangling down. Now stick these down with double-sided tape to secure them in place. Then, using a pen, draw a line from the top of the heart all the way to the top of the card. Double this over or make the line darker if it is not dark enough. And this will just give it an illusion that the hearts are dangling down on some string. Then it's time to make your own miniature bows using some ribbon and a fork to do so. So snip a bit of ribbon off and fold this around the fork, the outside of the fork should I say, making sure the back piece is slightly longer than the front one. Then, using the piece of ribbon from the back, bring this forward, crossing over the front part of the ribbon and pushing it through the middle prong of the fork so it goes from the front to the back. Then bring this piece of ribbon back over and down the middle slot of the fork so it comes back to the front. This is helping to form the 2 bow parts of the ribbon. Tie the 2 ends together in a tight knot and remove it from the fork once you are happy that the bow is secure. Don't forget to trim down the ribbon ends of the bow if they are quite long. Then, using your double-sided tape, secure the ribbons in place on top of the hearts, bridging the gap where the strings and the heart meets. You can also add a little stick-on gem to the middle of the bows for added glitz look, and then your first Valentine's card is complete. To make this Valentine's card, you are going to need some items from the Simply Cards and Papercraft magazine February edition. Now, this is not sponsored in any way, but it is some of the items that I used to make this card. So you need the embossing and die cutting folder in one, and the card sentiments from this magazine, as well as 2 different pink ink pads and an ink blending tool, white cardstock and a die cutting machine, as well as a label or tag die cutter, I think they are called. You want to start with a piece of card that matches the size of the front of your card and place it into the embossing die cut folder, which is all in one, so it will emboss the paper as well as cut out a heart shape in the middle. So make sure this is lined up properly so that your heart goes in the right place. Using the Distress Ink Spun Sugar shade of pink, you want to start ink blending across your newly embossed card. Now I start from the outside and work in and gradually add on the colour. This is my first time properly ink blending, so I'm not sure if my technique is the best, but it has given a really good effect to the card. Now because it is embossed, it does ink very well. Then you want to use the darker shade of Picked Raspberry in the Distressed Ink and begin blending this from the middle of the card outwards. So you want the outline of the heart to be the darkest part of the card and then gradually becoming lighter towards the end. Then you want to prepare the heart-shaped stamp that you get in the set, which has got lovely swirls and patterns in it, and this is going to go in place where the middle of the heart has been cut out. So line your newly inked and embossed piece of paper and just mark lightly with a pencil where the top and bottom of the heart shape is. You are then going to ink up your stamp and line it up so that the points where you have just marked meet the top and bottom of the stamp. This will ensure that your stamp is in the right place when you stick the front of the card on. So I am using the darker pink shade here, and because it is a distressed ink, it gives a really nice mottled effect to the card. So now you want to attach the embossed and inked part of the card to the front of the card base. So using some double-sided tape, place this around all 4 edges of your card and stick it in place. You will see that if you've lined it up properly, your heart stamp is in the centre of that heart cutout, and I think it looks fabulous. And now it is time to add on your Happy Valentine's sentiment to the card. So ink this up and stamp onto a spare bit of white card. Then cut this out using a label or tag die cut. I think they're called a die cut, or just a die. Run this through your die machine and it will cut out your sentiment in a nice tag style. Then using some foam adhesive, attach your sentiment to the bottom right of your card and your Valentine's card is complete. To make the final Valentine's card, you are going to need a white cardstock base, the sentiment stamps from the magazine, and the heart cut out from the previous card. Or if you have a heart template, you can use that as well. You will also need 2 different shades of pink ink as well as red ink, a pencil with a rubber top, and some cling film. You want to start by taking your heart template and using some washi tape or a low stick tape, double backing this so that you can attach it to the middle of your card without tearing the card once it is removed. So place this in the middle of your card. Then grab your pencil and place the cling film around the rubber end of the pencil. This will just protect the rubber part from the inks that we are going to use. Start by using your red ink and place in the cling filmed end of your pencil into this so that the end has some ink on, and begin dabbing this onto the card around where the heart has been stuck. Now you can do this half on, half off the heart to give it a nice effect. Keep going until you're all the way around the heart and then start branching out further onto the card, so making small red dots all over the card. Then using the distress ink in Picked Raspberry shade, repeat the same process, cleaning up the cling film prior to this so you don't mix the red and pink inks together. And finally, use the distress ink in the shade Spun Sugar to fill in any gaps around the heart as well as the rest of the card. Now you want your dots to be more concentrated towards the heart bit and then gradually peter out towards the edges to give a really nice dotted confetti look. Keep adding dots until you are happy with the look of your card. When your ink dots have dried, you want to then remove the heart template you placed in the middle, and you should have a lovely blank heart shape in the middle of your card. And then it is time to stamp and emboss a sentiment in the middle of the heart. So you want to rub the heart over with some anti-static powder and ink up your stamp. I am using the stamp from the set from the magazine, placing this in the middle of the heart. Whilst the ink is still wet, you want to sprinkle over liberally some clear sparkle embossing powder, dusting off any excess and replacing this back into the pot before grabbing your heat gun and setting the embossing powder. This will just make your sentiment stand out a little and give a little sparkle to it. And then your final Valentine's card is complete. So there you have how to make 3 different types of Valentine's Day card this coming Valentine's Day for your loved ones. Let me know in the comments below which one you preferred. I think mine was the second one, just because of the different card making techniques that needed to be used to make it properly. So you had the different types of embossing through the die cut machine and heat embossed, as well as some ink blending, which I am still quite new to, and it was quite fun to test out this technique as well. So let me know your favourite in the comment below. And if you like the video, please do give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button as well to keep up with more of my crafting and travel antics coming up onto the channel. Check out my blog, Aimsys Antics, linked below as well, because there's always a ton more information over on the blog than I can put in these videos, so be sure to check that out. And with that said, I will see you in the next one. Bye!